Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a fun little update video on my project pen that I've decided to do. If you haven't seen the first video, I will leave it linked up above. I kind of go into why I wanted to do a project pen, but today is going to be my first update on my progress so far of my chosen product. Just to recap, my goal for this project pen was to hit pan in at least 5 shadows in my eyeshadow palettes, and if it was a single face product, I wanted to completely use up all of that product. So far, I would say I'm not doing that well. Okay, let me just get into it. Like in my last video, I'm going to start off with Colourpop because I feel like they are one of the brands that I have the most palettes of, and they are also one of the brands that I do have the most of their palettes in my project pen. Okay, bye. So Good Sport and California Love were the two eyeshadow palettes that I have from Colourpop, and then I also have a Colourpop bronzer and a blush little duo. Let's just start with the blush duo. I don't think I've touched this since saying that I wanted to do project pan. I've been wearing makeup pretty much every day in the past 2 months since I originally filmed that video, but this hasn't been the blush that I've been gravitating towards. It's still not even the blush that I'm wearing today. You will see in the Zoeva palette that I have made a lot of progress in that, and it just goes to show that I haven't used any of this. I'm hoping, no, I'm committing, not hoping, committing that as it starts to get colder, I'm going to sort of gravitate towards this sort of pinky blush to give myself a little, oh, I'm so cold, I have such a glow around me because I'm so cold. I want that sort of rosy pinkiness on my cheeks. We'll see. We'll see. I can say that and then still not do it. This little guy here is the Colourpop Bronzer. I don't think I've made any progress on it. I've definitely used it a little bit, but since there is so much pan on it already, it's only going to be a matter of time before I fully use this up. It does get a little bit harder to use this bronzer because it is a bit darker compared to my other shades. So coming into winter in the colder months, it's going to be a little bit trickier to make this work, but I'm going to try to do it. I haven't used Good Sport all that much, so the same sort of progress that you're seeing in the other palettes is still there. So she's still coming along, she's still alive. A lot of the colors are still intact. And then this here, California Love, still got that same pan on that shadow. I have been trying to use up more of like the shimmery shades. I think the one thing that I realize is that as I start to get down further, is there's sort of like clumps within the pressing of the pans. So it looks a little bit weird, say on this shade here, it looks like a little bit chunky and crusty, but like it still works as an eyeshadow. So that's the progress so far on this guy. I think that I might have made a mistake when I set myself a project pan, because putting this palette in my project pan, I don't think I've used it a single amount. I really haven't used it a single amount. I think I've used Cypress Umber. Hey Miso. I've used Cypress Umber like a little bit on my eyebrows every now and then, but the shades that I'm left with in this palette just seem so intimidating that I just don't want to do it. That's that 2-month update on this guy. Haven't really used it all that much. Another palette which I feel like I haven't completely committed to using in the last 2 months is this guy here. This is the Huda Beauty palette. I will say that today I did make the conscious effort to only use this palette today because I don't think I've touched this palette. What project pan is making me realize about the palettes that I've chosen and the palettes that I buy in general, this isn't a good palette. The matte shades on this, I think I said it in my first video that like it feels as if there's like a shitty overspray on the top of the shadows, but the matte shadows in this, they do not blend all that well, especially like this purple here. This is a color that I would want, but it gives you like, it gives you nothing. You put that onto your eye, you're like, yes honey, give me nothing, absolutely nothing. Retrograde and Twilight, they are 2 shades that I would want the most out of, but like, what's that? Where is she? Who is she? You can barely see it. And no, it's not just that it's not on my skin tone. Look at this, I'm going into retrograde. Barely anything. Like I want more out of this palette, considering I think at the time I paid like $90 odd for this. Something ridiculous. I will stand by the fact that Cashmere was the best shade in this palette, and unfortunately I used it all up. Hi Miso. I'm not sure if this is going to be a palette that I will continue using even throughout this project pan. I will try my best, but I can't make any promises. I feel like at most I'm going to use what's left of like these good matte shades, the only good matte shades in the whole palette, But other than that, I feel like this was a waste of my absolute money. And even trying to use it in Project Pan, it's proving to be even more of a waste of my money because I can't even get proper usage out of it. I will say, my unexpected MVP of my whole Project Pan is this guy right here. I know, we don't like Morphe, we don't like Jeffree Star. However, this is a great palette. I feel like from the looks of it, there's not a lot of changes that have been made in this palette. I will say though, I have been using a lot of like this top guy up here, Channel, boring name. These purple shades are beautiful. I use that shade just by itself. This purple is the kind of payoff that I wanted out of the Huda Beauty, you know? This purple came through for me when Huda let me down. Huda's let me down so many times. I have so many of those like those little 9 palettes that she did. By so many, I mean I bought 2. I bought 2 of those 9 palettes and I don't use them at all. I think the Project Pan has just told me that I am a consumerist human being, and no matter what, if you put something that's shiny in front of me, I'm gonna buy it. I'm stupid. And now for the blush MVP. This is pretty much the only blush that I've been using. Of course, it is the Aristo. I did check back on my first video and I saw that I hadn't hit pan so far when I filmed that video, but look at her. She's the first pan that I've gotten. Yeah, on my 2-month update, you let everyone know that this pan here, she's the first one that's shown up during this whole challenge. I know that I feel like I should probably ease up on this blush and give some of the other blushes a little bit of a chance to shine, but she's just so good. How can you not, you know? And then last but not least, here is the update so far on my Benefit Cheek Leader palette. On the original Hoola, I've hit a little bit more pan on. You can definitely see, like, I don't know what these bits are, but they're there. But I have sort of made a dent. And then if you zoom in and look a little bit closer, there is the tiniest amount of pan here on Gold Rush. Yeah, she's coming in. Oh my god. I just realized in Gold Rush there are like the tiniest little like cereal mark numbers like at the bottom of the pan. That's kind of cool. I will say I haven't really touched these shades in the palette. I've used Cookie once so far now, and it's a highlight. I like to use it on my inner corners on my eyes because I feel like on my cheeks it just looks weird on my skin tone. But these two, they're coming in pretty good, not gonna lie. Also, I just realized that I lied to you. That one isn't my last product. This one here is my last product. This, of course, was the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Champagne Pop. And I have hit a good amount of pan on that. I'm starting to like come up on the edges. I'm pretty proud of my progress so far on this. This is pretty much the shade of highlighter that I use like every day. I have it on my face right now. I think in the next couple of months, I'm probably gonna be finished that. Isn't that crazy? Anyway, that's all it for my 2-month update of my Project Pan. I did have one person comment being like, are you gonna do an update soon? I don't know what their tone was. If it was like, are you gonna do an update soon? Or if it was like, are you gonna do an update soon? I don't know if I'm misreading your tone, but here it is, babes. Here's your update just for you. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of me. If you have any recommendations of things that you would like to see me do, I'll do them for you. I'll do anything for $1. I'll do anything for free. I'll do anything for exposure. Whatever you want, I'll do it for you, baby. Anyways, see you guys in my next video. Bye.